Hey, welcome back to I Allegedly. I'm Dan. I've got a good one for you today. There's so much business news to cover. I'm going to walk through. We have a small zoo here in Santa Ana, California that they're doing a remodel on. And I'm just going to walk through this today for you. But man, oh man, there's just so much happening right now. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get right into it. One thing we talk a lot about is our rights. And when our rights get violated, I hate that. I complain about this. Think about this. There have been 5 billion airline tickets and personal information given to the government and sold from third-party agencies that we buy airline tickets through. Now, this includes American Airlines, Delta Airlines, United Airlines. Oh, wow, Dan, I don't fly on those airlines. I fly on the smaller airlines. Well, good for you, because they sold information for 270 other carriers, 270. Plus, they had hundreds and hundreds of travel agents around the country that they took your personal information that they had and gave it to the government. Now, again, this is what you call a warrantless search. Your rights have been violated. Your personal information has been given up. They know when you travel. They know who you're traveling with. When I went with my mistress, they know about that. I haven't been married for quite some time too. So you know what I mean? It's terrible. It's crazy. They've got it's raining right now. They've got the I don't know if you can see the water coming down through the rainforest. But again, guys, no, 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 no. Who do you go and sue? This third-party company? And you can sit there and think about everything you've given up when you go and you fly in an airplane. It's too much information. It's way too much. You guys see all that rain coming down? That's kind of cool. That's all man-made through this little rainforest that they have here. So, anyways, I hate stuff like this. I think it's terrible. I think that, again, litigation should create things like this. And, we'll just give it up. We'll just sell it. We'll make some money. There's some corporate executives that are high-fiving each other right now because our personal information is being given up. These birdies over here. No, guys, I hate stuff like this. And again, think of everything you give on your airline tickets. Think of your TSA number. Think of the stuff on your passport. Think of the stuff that I've given up over the course of the last, I'll just go 2 years of flying. The last 2 years, it's way too much personal information. And they don't care. They don't care. Google has a complaint filed by a lot of third-party contractors as well. People that went out and tested their Gemini AI program. They hired subcontractors, but here's the twist about this. It wasn't some dolt working, from his mom's garage and inside the house. They wanted PhDs and doctors and people with graduate degrees to test the AI programs. So they had super smart people. And they brought these people in, and these people started complaining about work conditions, complaining about the long hours, complaining about the low pay, and that they were mistreated. And then Google, what did they do at the end of last month? Fired everybody. Bye. And there's a great quote on that really infuriated these people, because it's like, what does that even mean? Because Google got rid of people, and when they got rid of the program, they were saying, and I gotta get this quote right because it's so good, that we're trading up, and this is a super rater program, and I was just cut off, and I was asked the reason why, and they said that we're going to ramp down the project. And a doctor with a doctorate said, what does that mean, ramping down a project? Does that mean that you don't need us anymore? Whatever. But again, nothing surprised me. No one's treated well anymore, guys. No one. No one, no one, no one. And I don't care if you work at Starbucks or you work anywhere. It's, what's that guy's name? Mike Nichol, the CEO of Starbucks. There's another great story for you. He's talking about how, it shouldn't take 8 minutes to make a cup of coffee for somebody. We need to have better service. And people that are writing these stories about Starbucks are saying, hey, listen, I want faster service, better pricing, and I don't care about cute little names in my cup. Wouldn't you love that job for a day just to write, you know, hey, man that lives with his mom, your coffee's ready. Huh? Yeah, you, fat boy. You know what I mean? I mean, it'd be fun to write those little quippy things on it, you know? Blue shirt hairdo. I think that was the last one I had, and I'm wearing a blue shirt today. So, anyways, I think that would be a fun job to have for a day, just to write the little, um, the little quips on those things. Our Treasury Secretary is a man named Scott Bessent. It was rumored at the end of last month that Scott Bessent had an argument with Bill Pulte, who is the housing administrator. And these guys were going at it, and they don't like each other. And Scott Bessent said, I'm going to punch you in the effing face. And the best thing about this was he was asked in an interview yesterday about this. And, you know, he said, this goes back to Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr. And maybe we need to have, a good old fashioned duel. And he was referencing that with Bill Pulte, like, hey, this bird right here. Maybe we need to have a duel. It's like, okay, you guys clearly don't like each other, but imagine referencing a duel, okay? So, you guys ever want to read history? Read about Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr. That's a good one. Okay, I'm leaving the Amazon. Okay, isn't that exciting, guys? Okay. This place was owned by the Prentice family at one point, and the Prentice family donated it. And I've told this story on this channel before, but part of their donation was that they had to have a set number of monkeys on the property. And I believe it's 51 monkeys at all times. You have to have 51 monkeys. If it does not have 51 monkeys, the property reverts back to the family. For decades, there was one weirdo in the family that would come out and count the monkeys on a regular basis, like quarterly. And he kept a spreadsheet. And okay, there's 66 monkeys. Pretty close. Okay. Now, this is prime Orange County real estate. You've got, I'm by the 5 freeway. It's just, very valuable piece of property. But, who knows? The perceived importance of college. Think about this one. Having a college degree. Well, that's so important, Dan. You have to have a college degree to make money in this world. In 2020, it was 58% of the people thought that was important. 58%. You have to have a college degree to get anywhere. That has dropped down right now to 35%. 35%. They interviewed thousands of people. What do you think? Do you have to have a college degree? Now, I think higher education is important. I think getting education is truly important. The thing that we're learning right now, which goes to the next thing, is that, all these executives feel that there's so much happening when it comes to AI and AI programs that the future of business is all in AI. And when you talk to executives like from NVIDIA, from Zoom, and I have all these people's names that I wrote down, all these executives, what they're saying is that if you don't realize how important, it's going to be when you have AI is going to take over, and Microsoft, Bill Gates, and all these companies that sit there and say AI is the future. But is it important to have a college degree? A lot of people don't think so. Now, you want to be an engineer. My nephew became a doctor, and it took him 10 years to become a doctor. And he's out delivering babies now and working at the hospital and doing all that stuff. That's fabulous. And again, God knows what his student loan debt is. I have no clue. I don't want to know. But he's a full-fledged doctor right now, doing his rounds and working, as a GP right now. So that I get. Engineers I get. Lawyers I get. But if you don't want to do that and you want to be in sales, you don't need to have a college degree. You want to be a real estate agent? Go be a real estate agent. Beautiful macaws hanging out together. There they are right there. So you know, it's all relative, guys. It's all relative. But again, people get so worked up over this stuff. You want to get people infuriated? You get people that went to college that want you to go to college. Most parents that went to college want their kids to go to college. Or the parents that didn't go to college, my kid's going to be a success, so I want him to go to school. We see that a lot. So, you know, again, the Zoom CEO is Eric Yuan, Microsoft Bill Gates, NVIDIA's Jensen Huang, and JP Morgan was the other person that said that. And again, AI is taking over for everything. So, oh, they got the butterfly thing. Let me go on the butterfly thing for you guys. Okay, guys, this is really cool. Look at this. It's all live butterflies throughout the whole thing. That is really slick. Wow, 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 wow. Look at all of them. See those flying around? That is really cool. Big too. I want to thank Dave for sending me this next story. And, we have a manufacturing problem here in California. We have a business climate problem here in California. And one thing that is shuttering right now is there's two more refineries going out of business. And they've talked about $8 a gallon gas. And with Governor Newsom thinking he's going to be president, this is what you're going to have guys like me remind you of. Hey, gas is $8 a gallon. La, 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 la. For when this guy runs for dog catcher in 2028. Point is that the next thing is a pharmaceutical desert. You've got almost 250 pharmacies that have closed. You've got 235 that have closed from Rite Aid alone in California. That is huge, guys. And again, if you have pharmaceuticals, if you have to take any medications, try transferring that. Try dealing with somebody new. Try, this is their procedure and we close at this time. It's a mess. It's a mess. But does California care? They don't care. So let me know what you think about this and if you've seen this problem in your own state. Wow, this is really impressive in here. I mean, this is just loaded with hundreds and hundreds of butterflies. And it's just very, very cool. And they're big too, they're huge. And part of the rules are you gotta watch where you walk because sometimes they land on the ground in front of you, but they're just massive. So a couple things to finish this video. Don't forget we have a private channel where we talk about uncensored things. There's a lot in the news right now that can't be talked about certain places, and they can only be talked, in other spots. Look at this, guys. See this? Isn't that cool? This is really nice. Now this is great. I've been here a bunch of times, and this has been closed. But man, oh man, there are just absolutely hundreds of butterflies, and they're huge, from stuff you've just never seen before. So first things first, and this is, you guys, I never talk about good news, Dan. Okay, well, there's good news. Retail sales went up in August 0.7%, and they attribute that to back to school shopping and that people bought more clothes, they bought more backpacks, they bought more school supplies, they did all that stuff. And, so are the tariffs not taking their toll? Look at all these different guys, there's like dozens of different butterflies in here. It is really, really wild. So just different, just really, really cool spot. So retail sales are up 0.7%. Is this just an anomaly to start the school season, or is this something that's going to continue through, Christmas and things like that? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. One thing that we're seeing, I just want to remind you guys about the private channel I allegedly live. Don't forget that. And final thing is there's a great site called Fiverr, Fiverr, 2 R's on it. When it started, it was $5. If you wanted to buy something, they charged you a 20% fee or $1 to buy something there, and you could get people from around the globe to do things for you for $5. And you could design logos, you could have websites started, you could do all these different features that were very, very cool, but it was $5. Well, now with AI, I'm telling you guys want to design a logo? I could design a logo for you in 15 seconds with these different sites. You could describe it in detail, what you want it to look like, get 3 or 4 different options on what it would look like, in seconds. Fiverr is going to lay off 30% of their staff within the month because of the AI problem. I didn't know it was a problem. Well, it is a problem. It's a problem if you're working in design and working in certain, web features, but seeing sales down, seeing that AI has taken over for everything. I'm telling you this, right, guys, right now. If you've always wanted to design your website, you can design a website in minutes right now. Gosh, this is just crazy in here, guys. Hope you guys are getting a good shot of this. See all those flying by? So, anyways, guys, hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. And they have I did that otter thing last month. My friend invited me out to the Central Coast to go up there, and I went to the otter on that otter boat. They're going to have an otter place here that they're going to have set up by early next year. So like, subscribe. You want to email me, it's hello@iallegedly.com. Okay? Onward and upward, guys. I'll see you soon.